That song is, as you like to say, that's a banger.
Yes.
That was actually on our warm-up tape in high school.
In basketball?
That
You can't be warming up tape.
It was on our tape.
Etan.
It was on our tape. I don't know what to tell you.
You guys are close to the same age. Etan Thomas, can you warm up for basketball listening to the Jackson 5?
No, it was just that one song. Just that one song. Is Etan with us? Do we have him?
I've got remix up.
There we go.
There we
Can
go.
we hear him?
How you doing, fellas?
Oh, now we got you.
You ever warm up to the Jackson 5?
No, I can't say that I have. Great song, though.
All right, fair.
Great song.
It is a great song.
All right.
It is a great song. All right, Etan, let's jump into this team. And, we saw what felt like, listen, even though the games were close at the beginning of the year, they beat the teams they were supposed to beat. Not by a lot, but they beat the teams they were supposed to beat. Then they lost to the teams they were supposed to lose to. This game on Saturday kind of felt like the first game that was truly a toss-up game, that it was a road game against Notre Dame. You felt like Syracuse might be better than them, and it did go down to the wire, but they came up short. What do you take away from this Notre Dame game in particular, and are you any more concerned about this team after the Notre Dame game?
Goodness gracious. I mean, okay, so I've been listening to, podcasts, listening to the fans. I know everybody is kind of, ready to throw the whole season away. I mean, but it's still in the beginning. We haven't even gotten to the season yet. And yes, I know that there's a lot of adjustments that have to be made. Losing a player of JJ's caliber, you're going to have to make a lot of adjustments. You know what I mean? He accounted for a bulk of the scoring. So yeah, you see the different lineups that coach is trying to implement, trying to figure out different things that could work, possibilities, and it's just going to take time. It's not going to all be a finished product. And I understand the worry and the concern. But now in this new landscape of transfer portals and, you have a whole new team every year, it's not going to look like this group has been playing together for a few years. They're going to have to take time to be able to really, vibe with each other and work together and play on that string. And sometimes it just doesn't happen as fast as everybody would like it to happen.
All right, so, with all that being said, and you're spot on, by the way. I mean, it is very early, and Paulie and I were talking about that right out the gate, that, people saying the season's over. There's a lot of basketball to be played, good or bad. There's a lot left to be played. What adjustments would you make with this team? It's a tough spot right now with JJ being hurt. I mean, I guess where would you start? And what can be fixed? And then what is just some of what might not be able to be fixed? Like the defense, for instance, Etan. Can the defense be fixed, or should we just look at this team and say, you know what, they're probably just not going to be a good defensive team this year?
Well, the defense looked a little bit better against Notre Dame. I know it's hard to say that when Shrewsbury had what he ended up with, but I mean, the defense was actually moving a little bit better. I mean, it's tough, when you win, a lot of things are kind of masked. When you lose, everything's kind of magnified. So yeah, I don't think it's as big of a deal if we won the game where everybody is right now. But yeah, we have to make free throws. You have to knock down some three-pointers. You know what I mean? Those are like regular things that we're going to have to do better moving forward. And I'm not even a big fan of the new college basketball where everybody's just jacking up threes, but we have to make some threes. We have to be able to do that. But yeah, it's going to be what combination works the best. And that's the part that the coach is trying to figure out right now. But no, I don't get into criticizing this player, criticizing that player. Yeah, when you lose, everybody has to play better. That's the bottom line.
What do you make of the center position? I'm not asking you to call him out, but like, what is expected out of a center, at this level? And, you were a shot blocker and he's more of a scorer. Is there a way to maybe combine both and get better on defense as a center this late in his career?
I mean, yeah, but also he's playing through an injury. He's playing through a back injury. Yeah. I know fans don't really care about that. Once you get on the court, you're on the court. You know what I mean? But I think it has to be, taken into consideration a little bit that he's not really healthy. So yeah, he's getting, like I said, winning masks a lot of things. So we're having a completely different conversation, when you win. But I think that, there's going to be room for different people to step up. I don't know how long JJ is going to be out for. I don't really know the recovery for a broken hand. You know what I mean? But if they're going to have to really hold down the fort for a while, he's going to be out for an extended amount of time. You're going to have to find a combination that works a little bit better. But that's remaining to be seen.
Yeah, I mean it does remain to be seen. I know you said a moment ago, Etan, that you don't want to talk about individual players. I totally get that. I guess I do want to bring up Chris Bell and just kind of get your thoughts on him and his development as a player, because one thing that I think that frustrates many, and when Paulie and I talk about this every day, right? We talk about this team every day, and so one thing that keeps coming up is Chris Bell doesn't seem to be getting better. What would you say to that statement? Do you see him getting better? Isn't it upon the individual player to gradually get better as they go? I mean, like, you're a guy who you exponentially got better throughout your college career. There are so many examples of guys at SU, like Demetrius Nichols comes to mind, of a guy who exponentially got better, throughout his 4 years. Isn't there some ownership that a player has to take to improve his skill set and not just be, a spot-up shooter?
Well, I mean, but are we having a completely different conversation if those shots are falling? Does that? I mean, he's going through a spell right now where he's a little bit struggling offensively. But those same shots that he's taking, the same exact, everything, but they're going in, then is there a different conversation? So, I mean, if that's the case, that he just has to make shots, that's something that he's just going to have to continuously do and kind of, and ignore, ignore the chatter, because I know a lot of fans are kind of down on him right now. But he's a hard worker. Everything that I've heard about him and seen about him is that he's listen, like I said, winning cures a lot. So yes, everybody has to play better, not just one person. You know what I mean? I know you're looking for the main people to step up more, and I think that's definitely fair in the position that he's in. But I would say more as a collective. Ball movement has to be better. Shot selection has to be better. Like I said, you have to knock down some threes. You have to play better defense, even though the defense did look a little bit better against Notre Dame. But you have to be able to capitalize on that, and they have to find the combination that works. Right now, I mean, the Tennessee game you have to throw away. Like, don't even think about that game. It's so terrible. You don't even, you know what I mean? So there's sometimes when some games happen, you don't even need to look at the film. It was terrible all around. You know what I mean? And just move on past it. But go ahead. I'm sorry. You were saying.
I got one more question before we go to Fran Brown's press conference here. I want to rephrase that question for you. If you're not making your shots, though, isn't it imperative on you to rebound and play defense and do all of the other things?
Okay, so you want, yeah, okay, yeah, yes. If you're not making shots, then you have to find a different way to contribute, 100%. And so, yes, if the shots aren't falling, then Chris needs to be able to, up his defense, up his, everything. I'll give you that. But what I will also say, though, is that he's capable of making those shots that he's missing. He's capable of being that offensive threat. You know what I mean? That to take on the load of offensive scoring. Like, we've seen him do it. So I'm not, ready to give up on him already. I understand the frustration of the fans, but it's going to be a process. That's just what it is.
No doubt about it. Listen, Etan, we do have to run because we got Fran Brown coming up here, but we look forward to talking basketball with you once a week all season long. Thanks so much for coming on. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we look forward to talking with you again next week.
Sounds good. Have a good day.
All right.
And there may be even more Etan Thomas.
Is that right?
Yeah, a little tease there for you.
All right. I look forward to hearing about that. Fran Brown joins us on the other side. We'll take his live press conference on the other side. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.